Welcome back, Stack Attack Squad, to the Stack Attack Fantasy Podcast, your one-stop shop to dominate fantasy baseball and football. Come get some.
What's up? What's up? What's up? It's the Stack Attack Fantasy Podcast. I'm your host, Marcello, and my wide receivers, the ex-receiver, Trader Andy. What's going on, my brother?
What's going on, man? How you doing today?
Not too much. I almost forgot to press the button to start, so we were delayed there. I messed up. I was too worried. My dog's looking for her weed. She's a little depressed because she didn't get any airtime for the puppy bowl, so we got a little CBD going for her, whatever. But how you doing? Nick, what's good, man?
I'm good.
Yeah. All right. You guys might notice a little drawl in my mouth here. I've been watching The Sopranos for the last couple of days. Would you believe?
Good.
Would you believe I've never watched this before?
What?
It's a shame. It's a shame.
It's an embarrassment. It's
Yeah.
embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
How you liking it?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It starts slow,
I think I've watched it 2 or 3 times all through.
I get trapped in the YouTube short clips of them. It's addicting.
See, everybody thinks I'm Italian because my last name ends with a vowel, and I've been working in Brooklyn and Staten Island for the good part of 2 decades, so I have a little bit of that in my voice. It's kind of stuck there, which my wife thinks is BS and thinks I'm faking it, but
Yeah,
just kind of comes.
you remind me of Remy from Higher Learning.
So I don't know, man. You might hear me talk about some scungili and some pasta fazool today. So we'll see. I don't know.
Well,
We'll see where we go.
So yeah, I'm a girl dad. I'm enjoying you guys. Obviously, I got to do the little icky shuffle, throw the thing down, and it was pink all over the place.
Welcome.
Yes, I will at the end of our broadcast today, I will show the video of Andy in tears thereafter to show the whole world.
Yeah, because I'm going to wind up killing a 15-year-old when I get a gun.
That's all right. All right, guys, what's good? So what do we got going on? It's officially fantasy baseball season. Some of us have been here for a very long time. Might not have ever left for 20 years, but the Super Bowl came and went, so it's our time now. This is what it's all about, and that's why we're up to 2 viewers instead of just 1 to get started here. Baseball time, boys. Baseball time. Let's do it. We got some news this week. We got Andy into the Turf Wars, part of the Earth League, which is about as prestigious as it gets. It's regional, and I'm excited about it for one reason, and one reason only, because this is my first chance to play against the 2 of you and the best competition out there, right? At the same time. We've played in TGFBI, we've played in other NFBC type things and whatever, either as teammates or in separate leagues where we're talking about it, but we've never been in a draft against each other with the best talent out there. So this should be fun. It should be a lot of fun. I see Nick Madrigal going in like the 6th round.
With his 12 home runs and his 2 stolen bases. Yeah,
that's ridiculous, man. Can we talk about that for a second without naming names? Seriously, if you're one of the major content providers out there for fantasy sports, obviously you put a projection model out there so everyone could look at it and whatnot, and it's impossible not to see it. Like, I don't look at these. I don't go by what ESPN or CBS or Fantrax or any of these these spots put for their projections, but you can't help but see it when you sign in and look at your team. How do you project Nick Madrigal to bat .267 with 11 home runs and 4 stolen bases? I don't care how much you hate him. You got the wrong guy.
It's pretty bad.
Like, that's as bad as it gets. 52 home runs for other people. Like, come on.
52 home runs, 34 stolen bases,
52.
130 runs scored, 130 RBIs. Oh, my goodness.
That's realistic.
Dude, if Jesus Christ came down right now and was batting leadoff for the Mets, I wouldn't project those stats for him. Come on. All right. So we're excited for Earth Turf Wars. It's pretty funny. Like, I was actually like having withdrawal because my last NFBC draft is about to end. I'm in the 30th round, where I'm taking my second catcher, which will be Jonah Heim, which we'll talk about another day. I'm like, what am I going to do? I have no draft tomorrow whatsoever. Raz Slam doesn't start till Tuesday. And then I realized my 30-team league, I have my first-year player draft tomorrow. So right back into it, man. One-day draft. So let's do it. And then TGFBI on the horizon. So we got a lot of prep work to do. And then home league seasons come in. I don't know what we're looking at, any more NFBC work down the road, but we got our 3 industry leagues. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 home leagues, and God knows what else is coming. So it's game time now, right?
Overwhelming.
It's game time.
I feel overwhelming.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the fantasy concierge is where it's going to be. That's where we're going to make our money. That's where we're making our mark. This guy's drinking a High Noon. Look at that.
Why not?
High Noon. Little Cabernet. What do you got, Andy?
I have
What do we
Dr.
got?
Pepper and Tito's.
Dr. Pepper and Tito's. I got
100
big-
100 calories. 100
You
calories.
see the size of that Tito's back there waiting for you? You never come over anymore. I don't know.
That's a problem.
All right, we'll check that out. No problem. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to talk some baseball today. We're going to talk about some players that are kind of jumping off the page at us in one way, shape, or form. Some of it might be good, some of it might be bad. I'm not going in any particular order, but let me start with the Rangers. Let's start with the Rangers. Okay, they're in the news this week. I don't know why, because they're not allowed to be in the news, but they're talking about Matt Olson as a possible trade target for this guy, Nate Lowe, among other prospects. What do we think about that? Olson's pretty solid. Do we think that park shift to Texas would be a huge improvement for him? And what about the rest of the Rangers lineup? Are you guys into that, or?
I think it's a good move for the Rangers.
Yeah, they're seemingly all in.
I mean, we all like Nate Lowe and everything, but I mean, Olson has power. It doesn't matter where he hits; he's going to hit the ball out. And then when you add the other hurt guys in the middle infield, and then they're talking about not playing Huff at catcher to go with Heim and all the other guys. It looks like they're really focused on going for it all.
All right, talk about the rest of that situation, man. Josh Young Jung, whatever his name is, let's go with Young. So it sounds like a pretty serious injury. Shut down is always a scary word.
Yeah, Isaiah kind of la. He's
falafel.
He's now coming back.
It's Ralph Kiner Falafel.
His 329 ADP is about to triple.
Yeah,
he does a little bit of everything. He's a nice player.
Yeah, but he was nice when he had the catcher eligibility. Now
That
it's
was even
shortstop, third base.
That's it. All right.
Well, people say third base is weak, but
listen,
It's top heavy.
I don't have a problem with third base. It's first base I have a problem with. It's killing me. I'm actually thinking about getting in on Matt Olson here and there because
he's going somewhere.
It gets ugly, man. You got that tier at the back end that I kind of like with Walsh and Reese and Votto and CJ Cron. I could live in that. But if you miss out on that, especially in a 15-teamer, if you're on one of the ends, you could be in trouble. If you miss out on that, you're praying that Anthony Rizzo has a good landing spot. And if you miss out on that, you're done.
So Matt Olson's the third first baseman getting taken off the board. No way. I'll pass.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Texas doesn't bump it up for you?
No.
Andy, I got a lefty power hitter that I'm buying in on. That's real sneaky that nobody is going to know anything about. Roberto Ramos.
Well, we won money off him. We won money off him in DFS.
DFS, man.
Yes,
KBO.
absolutely.
KBO. Let's go.
He's a
man.
monster, man.
LG, and you know how old he is?
Is he 27?
He's 27.
Oh god, that's a sweet spot for Jeff. He gets excited. He gets excited for 27-year-old boys. All right.
Oh man, I love this guy. 38 home runs 2 years ago. Last year he was banged up a little bit. For the LG Twins, not that great of a team.
So what are you gonna do with Dahlbeck?
I don't know. What are you going to do with Casas?
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about him. Don't worry about him.
Is this a DH? I mean, he's going to have to mash to get into the lineup, obviously. Mash, but this is somebody. If you're doing a 50-round, draft champions, you got to take this guy at the back end. There's just too much power potential. He was hitting 30 home runs in the minors before he went over to Korea.
Yeah.
And the reason that he left is because he had a 29% strikeout rate. And they're like, oh, this isn't going to work. Well, guess what happened in those 2 years? Everybody went to 29% strikeout rate. And he went to Korea, and you know what his strikeout rate was there?
29%.
29%. So buy Roberto Ramos. If you have a I don't know if he's eligible for first-year player drafts, but
No.
if you have a draft like we do where, in the third round of a farm draft where the top 100 prospects are already gone and you're looking at 50th pick overall. Yes. All right, Andy, let's move into the infield here. I just wanted to talk a little KBO for a minute. I'm going to talk some Japanese baseball at the end of the show, though. So,
Oh boy.
Sal Perez, his ADP is 33, which is the freaking third round, right? 48 homers last year, which represents 25% of his career home runs and 121 RBIs. Are we going to repeat on this? Is there any shot? I know you profited huge off of Sal Perez last year. Huge, and good for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just not buying this year. It's just the price is too high. He never hit more than 27 home runs before last year, so I just don't see it happening again. I mean, he can get in the 30s, but that's a tremendous drop from what he did last year, and I just don't like chasing people coming off of career years.
Yeah, I can't blame you on that. Nick, you out?
Yeah, you're paying for last year's home run total at that point.
Right.
I'm just out on that.
I truly believe that if you're going to pay up this year for a catcher, it's Realmuto or Will Smith. You have to fade Sal Perez. You can't pay third round. Your team's going to be disgusting. And if he doesn't do any like Will Smith, he's going to get you three to five stolen bases. JT Realmuto is going to give you 15 or 20. That's why those catchers are of that value. Everybody is going to hit home runs. You don't need that.
Yeah.
Don't forget Dalton Varsho.
Varsho is a big one.
That's the second tier.
Whose guy was that 2 years ago?
Big time. You've been on him for a long time, man. I'm waiting for it to pay off. But
it's going to pay off.
I just hate these players that you're on so far in advance. And I've done this so many times in our life that you're on them so far in advance that by the time they pay off, it's like you're done with them and you've moved on. You've traded them. You can't invest.
Oh, yeah. Kind of like me and Nick with Mitch Keller this year. He's throwing 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, wrong Keller.
Yeah, not going to happen. I don't want any of them. I want no Keller. No Keller.
Who's better than that Keller? No Keller.
No Keller.
All right, that's great. All right, let's talk about let's go to the New York Mets for a second. Let's talk about Francisco Lindor. We're actually going to go on a shortstop for quite a few minutes now. Andy, Lindor, we have him. We've been buying him in dynasty leagues, and it's mostly because of price. He's being treated as if he's like 40 years old, but he's only 28. I'm buying in on him on dynasty leagues, but are you paying the price of 50th overall in redraft as well?
Yeah. I just think it's cheaper. He has more production than he has. I think last year was a very bad year. Making a transition to New York, having some bad people around him, like Javier Baez, who's gone. Like with that, it's just horrible. So I just think that he's going to be more focused. I think they'll probably trade Jeff McNeil so he doesn't have to fight anybody in the dugout again. I mean, you're looking at in 2018, he had 38 home runs and 25 stolen bases or something like that. And then the next year he had 32 and 22. He's batting 277 to 284. Last year was horrible. All right. And the lockout year was horrible. I think he's going to come back in, and I think he'll be ready to roll.
New park, first year jitters. Now he's settled in. I think he's going to be good.
Yeah, I agree.
Good value.
Nick, let me ask you, at similar ADP, Lindor is going 50th. You could get Wander Franco at 54. Where are you at with that?
Yeah, I got a little preparation here. I'm gonna give you two players here.
Okay.
Let me look at my things here.
Are you looking at notes right now?
Notes.
Notes? Or you?
Notes.
I got
All right,
notes.
I didn't know if there was another
Notes.
chandelier
No, I got
going on for
a little
sale.
Wander Franco thing. So his ADP is 55. I'm going to give you two players here really quick. This is off the Steamer projections. Player A, 143 games projected, 23 homers, 76 RBIs, 81 runs, 17 stolen bases. Player 2, 149 games, 19 homers, 84 RBIs, 85 runs, 10 stolen bases. Who would you rather have? The first player's ADP is 133. The second one is 55.
All right. Well, I'm obviously going to take 133.
So that's
Well,
Willie.
break the news.
That's Willie Adames right there.
Yeah.
Versus Wander
Wow.
Franco with similar stat lines, and you're talking.
And he got shipped out of town for him.
And he's in a new park. So if you look at the ADP of 55, you got guys like Pete Alonso, Austin Riley, Peralta, Chris Sale, all going to 55 that you could just take right there.
Nice.
Or
Hey.
you wait till 133. I mean, even 157. Luis Urias, he's sitting there. He's projected 20 homers. Dansby Swanson, 123 ADP. He's got a similar stat line. Brendan Rodgers is sitting at 161. Similar streamer projection. We're paying for the name.
And I think he's going to be a better player
Yeah.
than fantasy player.
Real life
always
player.
think that.
Fantastic. Not
At this
fantasy.
point. Sell the name.
All right. Andy, give me your best case scenario on Wander Franco for this year.
It'll be
There's another guy named Andy in the chat that wants to know. He thinks Lindor is going to beast, but he wants to know what Wander Franco's ceiling is.
Well, that guy's trying to trade me Lindor. That's why he's trying to up his value and use it against me. So we get that. But I think Wander Franco is going to hit 17 to 20 home runs. He's going to get 6 to 8 stolen bases. He's going to bat 280. He's going to have 100 to 110 runs scored and maybe 90 RBI.
All right. That's
Not
not
much
vanilla.
power.
That's not vanilla, but it's like kind of cherry vanilla. Right?
That's best. That's best.
Cherry vanilla with some sprinkles. There's no hot fudge going on.
I mean, the guy had a huge record getting on base as a rookie. Like he's a really good hit tool, amazing hit tool. All right, because me and Jeff always said no one should get an 80 hit tool, and we always said Vlad shouldn't get an 80 hit tool. Franco got the same one, but Franco did show a lot in his rookie year.
Right, and let me say also that Vlad has exceeded everyone's expectations. He's a first-round player now, and he's nowhere near an 80 hit tool. So thank you. I was right. All right, so let's stay on shortstop, Andy, because you won't give me credit for that. Couple of guys that I'm fading, and I want to see if you agree with. Marcus Semien.
I can't say that on live right now. I can't do that right now.
Oh, you're trying to trade him to this
I'm
guy?
trying to trade Marcus Semien to Andy McGann for Lindor. It's just working against me. Just working against me here. I should not have sent him the link to watch me, but Semien coming off a career
you reap
year.
what you sow.
We're not chasing huge years again. He's not going to do that. You have to realize that he played in AAA minor league parks for half the season last year. All right, his numbers are inflated. I feel he's going to regress. I don't feel he's worth the 34 where he's getting picked ADP, but he's good for dynasty. But I wouldn't take him at the ADP of 34.
All right. What if they add to the lineup? Let's say they add Matt Olson to the lineup, and then he has protection of Corey Seager and Matt Olson behind him. Are they going to run? Is that where it loses? Then is they're not going to run as much, are they?
No. He'll still be around 10 to 12 stolen bases probably.
All right. What about Trevor Story?
I'm all out on him. I'm all out.
What if he goes to the Yankees?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He's horrible. All right, I'm going to give you some.
What if he ends
stats
up in Philly?
I mean, that's a small little baby park too.
Yeah,
but
that feels nice.
He's not, because we know who's going to be playing shortstop for the Phillies this year. All right, so we'll
talk about that later.
Yes, let's focus on Story. And here is the true story. All right, he has 1,421 at bats at home, 1,401 at bats on the road. His batting average at home is 303. Away 241. He has 95 home runs at home, only 63 on the road. That's
career?
Yes.
Okay.
His numbers are Colorado based. Obviously, people are going to pay up. It doesn't matter where he plays, he's still going to run. And that provides value for the people that are chasing steals. But I'm not paying 39 for this guy who's going to bat 240 on the road, which could be home.
I agree.
End of story.
Oh, he's here all night, ladies and gentlemen. Tip your servers. Yeah, I think I'm out. Here's my problem with Story, and I've been doing the Lindor thing a lot because I do a lot of pitcher, and then I feel confident with Lindor as my first or second hitter going in that third round whereabouts, fourth round whereabouts. I just feel so confident in the depth of shortstop that I don't need to mess around with Trevor Story and Simeon. I'm doing better things there. Most of the time right now, we're drafting closers so that we don't have to play that game when everybody else is drafting Trevor Story and whatnot, right?
God, what about another name that doesn't get any kind of respect? Jorge Polanco. I love that guy.
Yeah.
But his ADP is really low. Like he's a good value.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Or you could go way deep and go for my boy O'Neal Cruz.
Or you can get those 14 home runs from Nick Madrigal. No, what?
Wrong profession.
I can't get over it.
That's hilarious. All right. Andy, talk to me about Alex Kirilloff, because I can't stop drafting this guy.
Dude, I love you, man. I
don't want to. I don't want to.
What have I turned you into?
It's not you.
That's my guy. It's me. No,
it's not you. It's not you. It's me.
God, I need a tissue. I'm gonna start crying again. AK-47 is my guy. He's gonna be a masher in the middle of the lineup. I've written articles on him. I talk about him all the time. I lost a bet with you on air last year about him. It's still my guy, and you're coming to the dark side. All right, he's a masher sitting in the middle of the lineup. He does not get any kind of slumps because he's going to be hitting the ball the opposite field, uses all fields. He has huge power. One of his full last years in the Myers, I think he had 15 home runs and 12 of them were at the opposite field. That's ridiculous for a left-hander. I hate hitting the ball left field, but he does, and he does really well. And God.
All right, so we're going to relive the bet. The bet last year was from one of our viewers, who will be better rest of season, Joey Votto or Alex Kirilloff? And we were on the opposite sides, and I was right because I took Votto. He was coming off an injury, but he mashed in the second half.
Yeah.
So who would you rather have this year, Joey Votto or Alex Kirilloff?
That's tough. It's tough because I think Votto still has some in him. Yep. And I'm sure he's still a good value where he's coming from, but this is going to be the year.
I got to pull it. I didn't write down their ADP because I just thought to ask you that question. I'm going to pull it up right now.
Kirill's 174, something like that.
Right, and Votto is going up around Rhys Hoskins and CJ Cron in the early 100s.
All right, I'd rather take Kirilloff.
Probably 2-3 rounds earlier.
No. But
so it's not even about who is being drafted where. Votto or Kirilloff, who you taking? 5x5. Straight up.
Kirilloff. Let's go.
Yeah,
AK-47.
I think I'm with you.
Now the real article that we've had was always Kirilloff versus Trevor Larnach. Where do we stand with that?
That was the career. Who's going to have the better career?
Yeah.
And Mr. Larnach's career has not yet started. So I will plead the fifth at this moment.
All right.
Last infielder that I'm kind of into this year, and he's being drafted just outside the top 200 at 201. And this pains me because I've been addicted to this guy for a couple of years. It's Eugenio Suarez.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell me I'm nuts. Let me throw some numbers at you. Last year in the first half. Now remember, they were using him at shortstop, which was horrible. He was the worst shortstop of all time. After 35 games or so, they moved him back to third base and whatever. So his first half of the season, he was focused on learning a new position that he sucked at. So first half last year, ISO 197, OPS 682, walk rate 8.4, strikeout rate 29.8, 18 home runs, right? In the second half, ISO went from 197 to 286. His OPS from 682 to 859. Walk rate from 8.4 to 12.1. Strikeout rate from 29.8 to 29.8. If it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's a duck, right? And the home runs went down to 13, but it was in 100 less at-bats. So he was decidedly better. He was a major league level hitter in the second half last year. But so many people put him on the waiver wire and ignored him, and then they picked him up, and then he sucked and all this. The last month, I think he had like 8 home runs in the last 3 weeks. He was a masher, and he's ready to go. Do you think Mike Moustakas is going to stand in his way? Or
He's going to be the DH there.
Exactly. This is a universal DH situation now. Eugenio Suarez, you have to accept he's going to bat 210. That's part of what's coming on. But would you rather have Joey Gallo, Eugenio Suarez, or are they the same player? They're basically the same player, aren't they?
One's probably a little cheaper too. Suarez ADP, right?
I don't have Joey Gallo's ADP in front of me right now because I was not prepared to say that.
Sorry. No, I'm not. I see I like it.
I'm buying Eugenio Suarez.
Yeah.
For those that are concerned about third base and saying that it's thin and they're not buying into it and you're way late. God, he's being drafted 200th overall. That's crazy. That's like round 17. Go for it. Why not? And if I'm wrong, you cut him. Cool.
Who's the guy we've been drafting there? We've been getting Toro.
Yeah, Abraham Toro.
Toro.
I'm a big fan. Multi-position. Does
Going,
a little bit of everything.
50 spots after Suarez.
Yeah, that's
and
not
then
bad.
Candelaria. Those are the 2 guys that I've been getting.
Yeah, that's not bad right there. There's 3 names, man. Like I'm not worried about third base. I'm not. First base, I am. Third base, I'm not. Okay. All right, let's go into the outfield.
Yeah, really, one more name I brought up too.
You got one. All right.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned with this one. It's Bobby Witt. Never seen Major League pitching, and his ADP is in the top 100 right now. We don't even know if he's going to start the season in the majors. I mean, he should, but ADP is 93.
Nick is purple.
And I'm purple. That's my computer screen shut off.
Goodness.
Around 93, you can get guys like Jonathan India, Brian Reynolds, Stanton, Correa, Alex Bregman, guys like that. Bobby Witt, you're drafting a question mark. Never seen Major League pitching before. High stole base tool. Steals is the big one. The steals is the big one. That's why he's going high. But is he going to start right away? That's a big question.
Well, we'll find out this week after they sign the agreement. We see the CBA. We see what's actually involved there.
Exactly. We have to see what his availability is going to be. Are they going to wait 2 months before they bring him up? Is he a day one starter? That all matters. That all makes a big difference. I'm not big on drafting unknowns. I like to know what the hell I'm getting into.
Yeah.
I obviously in our home league, which is a dynasty league, I have him and I'm holding him as if he's. I have him in Skidoo. You have him in the other one.
All right, we'll trade.
I'm holding him as if I have a first round player. As if I have Bo Bichette on my hands.
Yeah, I realize that.
That's the way I'm looking at it. Okay. Yeah, I'm not giving it up. You got to pay as if he's already done it in that format. But in redraft, I'm scared. I don't want any part of it. Jim Bowden today called Bobby Witt a 40-40 player with multiple MVPs. That's a little scary.
Was he drinking on set like we are?
He might have been. I think he was drinking high noons because it was about high noon at the time that he said it.
100 calories.
Yep. All right, Nick, I'm going to pop some bubble for you here. We're going to talk about your boy.
Cedric Mullins.
Yeah, let's talk about
That's
Cedric
a guess.
Mullins.
ADP 32. I have him written on my ADP fade, actually.
Fade? All right. So why are you fading him at ADP 32?
Because he did it for 1 year. Pick 32 is a really risky. I can't do it at 32. I mean, my first round, I'm looking for steals. If I'm drafting him at 32, it's because my first pick or two is no steals. That's it. He's just done it for 1 year. He's not consistent with it. I mean, I hope he proves me wrong because I have him for $1 in our home league, but
That's different.
I'm out.
That's totally different.
I'm out.
That's a dollar.
Redraft. I'm avoiding unless I'm desperate for saves at that point.
I think we're all in agreement here on this pod that we're not chasing career years with their ADP. Not doing
No,
this. Now,
you're paying for last. You're paying for
Cedric
last year.
Mullins.
You said it perfectly, and I have some data to back that up for you. Woohoo.
Oh.
Perfect, huh?
Oh, somebody did some work.
So,
Let's
since
go.
2015, every single year, there's been exactly one player that was drafted after the 12th round, but returned first round value. Okay. So drafted after round 12, but his value was first round. So let's go through these players real quick. Okay. And thanks to Ryan Bloomfield from Baseball HQ, I can give you some auction dollar amounts, which will kind of show you their actual value. So 2015, Dallas Keuchel, 20 wins, 232 innings, 216 strikeouts. I didn't think he had 216 strikeouts in his career.
That's crazy.
Won the Cy Young, $38 return. Okay. But the next year, $2 return. Okay.
Oof.
So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at year 2 after the breakout on all these players that were drafted after round 12. All right. 2016, it was Jonathan VR. Similar player to Cedric Mullins. $37 the next year, $8 return. Aaron Judge, this might be the success story. $38. The next year, $20 return. So he's still let down, almost half the return, but $20 return, you're still okay with that. The next year, it was Blake Snell, $37 value. The next year after that, $3. The next year, Kettle Marte, similar player to Cedric Mullins, $33. The next year, $9. Last year, it was Mullins. The year before, 2020, obviously, shortened season, 60 game season. It was Luke Voigt, who was $34. Last year, he returned $13. Cedric Mullins was worth $30 last year. So we're showing a track record for 6 straight years where a player drafted after the 12th round that gave first round value in return shat the bed the next year. So I'm kind of betting on that trend continuing. So Cedric Mullins, $9 max bid for me. We're going to talk later a little bit more about the renovations to Camden Yards and how that affected everything. But one way that I think this will be affected, they moved the fences back about 30 feet, which makes their dimensions mirror PNC Park. Ryan Mountcastle and Trey Mancini would have lost 14 home runs. These are the guys that bat after Cedric Mullins. So they would have lost a total of 14 home runs if they played in PNC Park last year. So let's say that takes 10 runs off of Cedric Mullins. You've already lost a couple dollars worth of value right there, right? So I got concerns, man. I'm not feeling good about it.
Agreed.
Cedric Mullins, sorry, Justin Mason. Not doing it in the 3rd round. All right, Andy, talk to me about Yabba Dabba Akil Badu.
I was totally against him last year. Hate him. Oh, there's a Russian sex bot. All right, there we go.
Russian sex bots, ladies and gentlemen, we're back.
So Akil Badu, I was totally against him last year. He was a Rule 5 guy. They had to keep him on the roster. He only had played A-ball. He never played in AA or AAA. Was thrown right into the Wolves. Really had issues with contact and was struggling a little bit. but wind up having, I think, 13 homers, 18 stolen bases, bat 259. Showed a lot of development through the year. I think that more is to come, and I think he's growing as a player. And I think you're going to look at a 2020 season this year.
Wow.
Yeah, that hot second half
Yeah.
really propelled him.
When you don't play above A ball and you get thrown to the wolves like that, I was impressed. And I was totally against him in the beginning of the year, and I'm a buyer now. Especially 158, I'll take him.
Well, what Nick just said nails it home. He came out hot in the beginning, and he was the hot name pickup in the beginning after Cedric Mullins, obviously. And then he went, mediocre through the end of the season. But the last 6 weeks, he was red hot, and he was back on the same trajectory as he was in the beginning of the season. So that leads to, some signs of encouragement. Definitely. Cool. Andy, who do you think is my highest drafted outfielder so far this year?
Cody Bellinger?
No, believe it or not. I'm going to try to fix that, but
Joe Adell?
Definitely not.
No,
Zero shares. So far, it's Miles Straw. And he's actually making me not need Nick Madrigal on my team. It's kind of crazy. I believe in Nicky, but like roster construction is roster construction. I'm not trying to be right here. I'm trying to win. So, yeah, Miles Straw is very durable. He played in 158 games last year. He's going to lead off for Cleveland. What's their team name?
Guardians.
I don't know.
Guardians.
And here's the thing. Last year, Cleveland was third in MLB in stolen bases attempts, where Houston, where he started, is in the bottom 10 in the league. They just don't run because they have so many boppers, and that's just not part of their game. So the opportunity to run is going to be there on the regular. He's going to be batting leadoff on this team, so his runs are going to go up. He's going to be batting after probably Ahmad Rosario, I would think, who's a low on-base percentage guy. But the one thing about Ahmad Rosario is he sees a lot of pitches. He sees 3.6 pitches per at-bat. So he's going to make an opportunity for Straw to run, which is what they need to do, because Jose Ramirez is their three-hole hitter, and he's basically, the majority of their offense. The fact that Franmil Reyes bats after him protects him from, Straw stealing second and then them just walking Ramirez, because, Franmil could put it into the seats on a regular basis. So I think that he's going to approach 100 runs. 30 stolen bases is relatively easy. You're going to have to deal with 4 or 5 home runs. He doesn't hit the ball hard. His hard hit rate is way below league average, but he just fills a category at a low ADP.
Love it.
Yeah, we're buying in.
Oh yeah, I've already had shares of them.
Yeah, it's an opportunity cost problem though, because those first basemen that we were talking about earlier, Jared Walsh, Rhys Hoskins, they're all kind of in the same spot. So when I take Straw, it has to be for a reason. I have to be on a team that I need the stolen bases or I'm in trouble. And, it basically means I'm going to end up with Kirilloff as my first baseman afterwards.
Winner.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, let's talk about a first baseman who's now an outfielder, Andrew Vaughn. Where are you at with that?
234 ADP. Don't shake your head, Nick. I'm going to sell him.
I like him.
All right. Never play another one who's never played above A ball and got thrown into the majors. Not only did he get thrown into a majors into a contender, but they also threw him in a position he never played before. So he had problems playing left field. He's a horrible left fielder. I feel that he's going to rebound. He had some good numbers, solid numbers as a rookie. And he's always had a good pedigree of using all the fields, got power at the ADP. I think it's a great buy.
All right, I'll take it. No problems.
250 at bats in the minors. That's it.
Yep. But he's only eligible in the outfield right now, which kind of takes it away a little bit. If he had first base eligibility or the potential to gain first base eligibility, that would be exciting.
Yeah.
Outfield, it's it's vanilla, cherry vanilla with some sprinkles, a little bit of whipped cream on top, right?
With upside.
Yeah,
Possibly two cherries on top.
double cherry. All right, no problem. All right, any other hitters you guys want to talk about before we go to the mound for a little bit?
Just two people I find myself a lot of the CBS mocks I do with CBS crew. I find myself a lot of times taking Yelich at 100 or Bellinger 99. That's their current ADPs. I think those are steals personally. I find myself drafting them consistently. I see Bellinger always making it everything. What?
You've been in football mode for a long time. Me and Jeff have been talking about that for 2 months now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know.
It was actually worse. Like Bellinger was even farther down. It's like kid's only 26 years old. He had major health issues, and he's got an MVP award. He's hitting a monster lineup. Totally agree. Buying on both of them.
And two more I got written down here. Jeff, you had me ask you Nicky Lopez. What's your thoughts?
He's crappy version of Nick Madrigal.
He's
I think it's vanilla.
the Dollar Tree version of Nicky Madrigal.
Yeah, and Nick Madrigal Nick Madrigal is Five Below, and
all right,
Nicky Lopez is Dollar Tree. So
what's that make Miles Straw?
I don't know, a dime bag.
Oh God!
And,
Nicky Lopez.
My dog's looking for it.
People will chase Nicky Lopez because of the steals.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I feel like it's a chase. Like I don't think it's going to repeat.
I have Andy's boy written down here at 309, Riley Green. I will find myself drafting him all over the place if I can. Just not in turf, so don't even bother taking him. He'll be gone.
Well, here's the thing about Riley Green, okay? If you're in, let's talk standard NFBC. So that's what most leagues are. 30 rounds where 7 of your rounds are bench, and you start 23 players in a 15-team league. Riley Green is not going as a starter. He's going in the bench rounds. So it makes perfect sense to draft him in the bench rounds because if he doesn't make the team or whatever, you just cut him.
That's league winning upside.
If he makes the team, or you could sit on him and wait a month or whatever, you have a potential like 8th round return on the guy. So there's no reason not to do this. I just finished drafting a 15-team league, and I was going, I think it was round 25. I had my finger on the button and he went to pick before me and I was pissed. Right. And I'm not a Riley Green guy, but it just makes so much sense to do this because if he is what he's supposed to be and he gets the opportunity, like, and you're getting him in the bench rounds, or, if you're in a redraft auction, $2-3, which is what I got Kelenic for last year, $2-3. Why not?
Green will be the best hitting rookie on the Tigers this year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No doubt.
Okay. I can't hate that. I'm not a Torque guy, man. I don't know. I'm just not a Torkelson guy.
His ADP is sky high.
Yeah. And it's because the position sucks. So, yeah, I'll take that. I'm on board with you. Let's make that. That's a stack attack bold prediction. Riley Green over Spencer Torkelson, at least in 2022.
No.
Cool.
Nope.
Yeah, I think that's pretty
career.
No?
Career.
Ooh.
Career. He's a better hitter.
I said at least.
Well, I'm saying career. I put it down.
All right. All right. Andy, any pitchers that are lightning rods for you that you want to talk about?
Lightning rods. Good, bad, like what do you want? I mean,
whatever, they pique your interest. The good, the bad, the ugly, whatever.
Well, I'm all in on almost all the pitchers for the Detroit Tigers and the Marlins this year. And I've been saying that for months now, ever since both teams acquired Gold Glove catchers. And I feel that Erod is going to have a good year, better year than last year. And that was my guy last year. He's going to be better this year. Scooble, Mize, those not Matt Manning, but the two Scooble and Mize, and then all the Marlin pitchers. I just, you're just getting a guy who handles the pitching staff. I'm all in on him.
Yeah, finish that point off though, like about who's handling the pitchers. Talk about the catchers.
You got a Barnhart and you got Stallings. Both were traded this year, and I think they're going to be great. They're going to be handling the pitchers. They're going to be running the staff. I'm a catcher, so I took control of the staff, and I think both guys are going to be good. Barnhart's great with the framing as well, as long as there's no computer umpire. So we're in good shape.
Yeah, how much is that going to suck? It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Listen, I know a guy that works for Replay in MLB. I can't say his name, obviously. They're already preparing for robot umpires. Good. The technology is already in place. It's already up to the AAA level this year. So
Angel Martinez, you're gone.
It's coming.
Angel Martinez, you're gone.
No, he'll be the best. Because what happens is they're still going to have home plate umpires. The ball's going to cross the plate. The technology will say whether it's a ball or a strike, and somebody like me and you right now will be sitting here with Nearbud and say, Angel, strike. And he has to go, strike. How easy is that job?
Still sucks. He's still going to go the opposite. No, that's a ball. That's a ball. He sucks.
All right. Any other pitchers jumping out at you? How about how you feel about the White Sox rotation?
I'm a big Giolito guy. Always been. Lance Lynn, that's Stack Tack always has him on our team. And good riddance to Carlos Rodon. All right.
Good riddance.
Good riddance. All right.
That's right. He's a free agent.
He's a free agent, so that's why
he's sitting out there.
Well, he wasn't offered a qualifying offer after having a Cy Young type season.
Yeah.
Right? What does that tell you? It's a huge red flag. Says that White Sox know your medicals, know your arm's about to explode, and they decide not to give you a qualifying offer. He's 29 years old. I mean, why wouldn't you do that? You've been a career White Sox fan, player. Why would they let you go for free? Something's wrong. I'm not in. I'm out.
Nick just traded for Carlos Rodon about 3
I
days
told
ago.
him. I told him to look at my Twitter before he did it.
Well, I got Giolito. I got Giolito in the top 7 pick in the deal also. So Giolito was the prize.
All right, that works. So you're out on
Rodon's a trade. He's a trade chip.
Right. I mean, for $1, you got a 200 strikeout potential player.
If he blows his arm out, I just cut him.
Yeah, he's got
him tomorrow.
He's got an absolutely ugly release, man. I don't like his mechanics at all. Like, that's why he's always hurt. Like, I don't know, man. I can't do this. He was dominant for a little while, as was Giolito the year before. I don't know.
Does that have something to do with the tack stuff on your hand?
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be sticky substances.
Rodon's best year was his rookie year. He had 3.75 ERA. All right, and then he had last year, so not in. Sell.
Cool. All right. Well, when the guys came to me and said, "What are we going to podcast about Sunday?" We need a topic, this and that, and my first thought was, let's do an entire show on John Means. I wanted to do a whole show on John Means, but we're going to do the 2-minute version.
John Means business.
Exactly. Okay. So the negative. What's the negative on John Means?
The team.
He's on the Orioles. Okay. The positive is that before the lockout, for God knows what reason, he was rumored to be on the trade block, with the Mets being the most interested party. The Dodgers being interested. Those are both great landing spots. And the one thing that was concerning me about the Orioles, other than the fact that they suck and they're in the AL East and the win potential is low, was the left field wall, right? Well, what did they do?
No wins.
On my birthday, they took the left field ball and they moved it back and they made it equal to PNC Park. Okay. So let's talk about John Means and what his skill set is, what he's good at, and where he lacks. So he's an extreme fly ball pitcher, gives up a lot of barrels and a very high hard hit rate. Okay. Which means what? He gives up a lot of home runs. So if you move the fence back 30, 40 feet and you realign it, if he would have pitched in PNC Park last year, it would have been 10 less home runs. Okay. Now, this is a guy with an elite walk rate, elite 4% walk rate. So his career whip is 1.08 at 28 years old. So he does not put men on base. So the only thing holding him back is the long ball. So if we move the fences back, his career 382 ERA is going to go into the high threes, 310, 320, somewhere in that range. We're going to struggle for wins. His career strikeout rate is 23%, which is league average. So he's going to strike out 1 per inning, and we're going to get there. His ADP before they moved the fences in on the NFBC was 224. His ADP since they moved the fences back is 222. So I'm the only one that noticed this. Like, I don't understand this. I've drafted 8 NFBC leagues, and I have him on 7 of them. I don't know what happened in the 8th one. Andy and I traded for him in a dynasty league. This guy's 28 years old, right? He's not even eligible for arbitration yet for the first time. He won't be a free agent until 2025. This guy's got all the upside in the world. We traded Nick York for this dude, who's a top 50 prospect. I mean, we got some other pieces and a draft pick in return as well. It wasn't 1 for 1, but that's how high I am on him.
Well, here's my question too. Do you think he could be a trade bait towards the summer if he's having a crushing season, like crushing it, and Baltimore wants to sell high?
Here's the problem: is if he's doing what I expect him to do, like, you have to get a monster haul for somebody like this. He's pre-arb, so he's making, basically $500,000 a year, and he's not eligible for free agency. He's under team control
team control.
2025. So you need to get 3, 4, 5 pieces to rebuild your team to replace him.
He's a perfect candidate. Especially when you're looking to bring up Adley in the summer or early season, you trade him and you get more pieces. It works right there.
You're right. This is a guy being drafted. If you're in a 12-team league, he's being drafted in the bench rounds. Like, this is a number 3 fantasy starter disguised as a number 10 fantasy starter. Like, this is free money.
Rodney Dangerfield.
He got hurt last year. In the first half of the year, he was one of the best starters in the league. He pitched a no freaking hitter where he struck out 12. Like,
no respect.
This guy's a stud, man. Like, the Orioles suck. Like, I understand that. We got to deal with the fact that the Orioles suck.
He was a popular waiver wire pickup too. I think I grabbed him in a couple leagues too.
Right. I will have him on every team that I draft moving forward. I think he is more important to my fantasy success this year than Trevor Bauer is. And that's saying a lot. So.
Well, because Means, his ADP is not going to move up at all.
It makes no sense to me.
It's not going to move up. There's going to be nothing that he's going to
do.
Well,
if he gets traded to the Mets, he's going to go in the top 100.
Well, that's right now. If he does, if he stays on Baltimore opening day, his ADP may go to 200 tops. He ain't going that high up there. So you're going to get him everywhere in the bench rounds.
So these people that we're drafting against are drafting only for the sake of wins, and that's it, right? That's it. They're drafting for the category wins, which means nothing.
Which is a sham category anyway.
Steve Carlton won 27 games on a team that won 61 games. Right?
But wins right now are a sham. It's going away from it. From the quality starts, you get the 5-6 inning guys going on. It's all over the place now. Wins are nothing.
Right. So I think the moral of the story is buy John Means in dynasty leagues because once the industry goes away from the win and to the quality start,
I think it's soon.
you got a top 20 pitcher on your hands. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm in agreement.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Good job.
All right. Any other pitchers you want to talk about? Any starters, relievers, anything? I'm gonna give you guys a quick relief pitcher flyer to take, which I think is going to be a monster possible hit. Last year in this very spot, I said Mark Melancon was going to lead the major leagues in saves. He was being drafted at the time behind Drew Pomerantz. This year, we're going to the same team, and we're going to Robert Suarez, who started his career in Mexico as a closer. He went over to Japan. The last 2 years, he saved 67 games in Japan. This dude.
I just saw a piece on him today.
Gas, 97 miles. Yeah, it was by me. 97 miles an hour. This dude throws, topping off at 101. Like, he's got the goods. You got to do this. Pierce Johnson is not scaring anybody right now. Yes, they could potentially sign Ian Kennedy. They could potentially trade for Craig Kimbrell. That's a possibility. Those are out there, but I'm telling you, like, take Robert Suarez in your bench rounds. You got to do it. Any other pitchers you want to talk about before we go into some of Andy's prospects?
Yeah, a couple quick ones that jump out for me. I'm a big fan of Patrick Sandoval this year. I've been trying to snag him up as much as I can. 215 ADP. Tristan McKenzie's a name I've been seeing here and there. John Gray is one of my favorite late targets. He's out of Colorado. He's in Texas now. I love that landing spot. Just out of Colorado in general. Same thing from Jaime Marquez. If he can get out of Colorado, his ADP would skyrocket.
Yo, the crazy thing is, I love Gray. We've talked about this. Gray actually has, I think, a better ERA at home than on the road. It's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's very close. It's like not a big difference. But I do like the landing spot.
Yeah, that's a good landing spot with him. Joe Ryan is prospect eligible. He's another one I've been seeing, but I'm not. I don't think it's that special.
ADP is too high.
Tony Gosselin, been seeing him.
Oh, that's my dude.
He gets a starting spot. It's a steal right now with a 320 ADP. And then my boy Aaron Ashby, he's got 272 right now. I'm hoping he can get some kind of role.
Knew that was coming. Let me go back to John Gray for a minute. The best thing that would happen to John Gray is them signing Clayton Kershaw. And the reason for that is John Gray is a very good number 3 starter, but right now he's in the number 1 spot. So the win potential kind of hurts on a bad team. It's a bad team.
Yeah, going into the Ace.
All right, Andy, let's do some quick hitters on some prospects that you tell me if you're up or down on them. Give me anything you got on them. All right. Let's do some hitters first. Bryson Stott, shortstop, Philadelphia.
It's going to be the starting shortstop for the Phillies this year. He's on base percentage machine, and he won't win you in any categories, but he does a little bit of everything. And I just heard great reviews about him in AFL. That like every time they turned around, he was on base. So it's exactly what he's supposed to do. He's going to be a nice little table setter for Harper and Reese, and I like him.
All right, we got to talk to our buddy Lenny Melnick, the resident expert on the Arizona Fall League, and see what he's got to say about that. Let's stay with the hitters. Jhonkensy Noel. Little speed power action, third base, Cleveland. Is this Jose Ramirez 2.0?
No. There's no speed there. There's no speed.
There's some speed.
No, I don't think there's. No, okay. I don't think so. I project him to be like not as good as him, but the type of hitter is going to be like a JD Martinez type. He just crushes the ball all over the ball. His hard hit contact is off the charts. He's a monster last year. I think he that 340. 390 on base percentage, had 19 home runs, just a monster last year. And I saw some videos of him working out too. So it's good. I like it. He's working hard. I think he's going to be a big time riser. He was at the end of the top 30 for the Indians last year, and he's going to fly up the list.
All right. Nice. All right. If he's not giving me speed, Jarren Duran from the Red Sox should. What do
No.
you think about him right now?
You can't steal first base. All right. I'm selling him all over the place. I don't want to say too loud, but his hit tool's horrible. He showed some power last year in the minor leagues for the first time ever. Never showed it again. Struggled in the majors. Huge K rate. I'm just not a fan.
Roberto Ramos. Let's go. All right. Sticking with some hitters from your team, the Mets. Mauricio, 20 years old, switch hitter, shortstop. Where are you at with him?
I'm sell. I don't like him. I don't like his. He's a middle infielder. He's got like a 40 run tool. I mean, you don't steal any bases. Your hit tool is like a 40. You can't make contact. You have all these tools that won't connect. He's going to need a lot to actually succeed.
All right, I got to find a hitter that you're high on because we just ripped 2 in a row. Pedro Leon, give me some good news.
No, I got nothing for you.
Oh,
team Jeremy Pena. Let's go.
Team Jeremy Pena. Okay,
I think Leon's got some good tools, but I'm just not. If you don't have a good hit tool, you're not going to keep a strong roll. And he's a 40 hit tool guy. He's not going to hit the ball. He can't make good contact. He has developing power, but you got to make contact. He has good speed, but you got to make contact. He got first base. He doesn't walk. I'm not a fan. All right. Find somebody else, man. Don't say.
All right. I got one more hitter, and maybe Nick will wake up on this one. Maybe he'll be excited.
I'm listening.
Jason Dominguez, where are we at? 19 years old.
He's been trending down a little bit. I've seen. I don't know. He's been trending a little down, but I think he's.
Why is that? Why is that?
He's been going down the prospect list.
Yeah, because when he first got signed, they put him at a 70 run tool.
Compared to the Mickey Mantle. Come on.
And by the time he comes up to the majors, it could be a 40 run tool.
Yeah, that's the reason.
He's all hype. All right, and I'll sell him.
Give me my boy Volpe.
Number 1 pick in the Dogs draft. Woo!
Yeah, he's gonna be. He's gonna be.
I know the guy with the number 1 pick. Woo!
I know a guy.
Andy, is there any chance that Dominguez plays at the AA level this year? There's a reason I'm asking. Is because you know who the Yankees AA team is, right? It's the Somerset Patriots, which is right by my house.
Yeah.
Any chance we get a local guy? I mean, that would be fun to go see.
I mean,
the last time I went to a Somerset Patriots game, Bill Pulsiver was on the mound, and he was about 270 pounds, and he looked like he just got out of the clink after a DWI the night before.
I went to a Trenton Thunder game 3 years ago. It was Bo Bichette playing. I'm not sure if Vlad was still there, but that was pretty awesome to see.
Awesome. All right, yeah. So we got that piece, man. We got a AA field in our backyard. I know Lakewood's always been there, but that's low A.
I mean, Andy.
Yeah.
What else now?
I went to a Lakewood game once, and it was because Shane Victorino was rehabbing there, and that's my wife's favorite baseball player of all time because she wants to move to Hawaii. All right. That's it for the hitting prospects. Andy, give me 2 pitchers that are on your radar that are jumping up this year.
Yuri Perez from the Marlins. Okay. I just signed.
You said you loved the Marlins pitchers before.
Yeah. This is probably the guy. Well, besides Rogers, I love this guy the most. I just think he's huge. He's a 6'8". Monster pitches. All his pitches are developing good. The key is when he's this young, he just got signed, doesn't have that many innings pitched, and he has great control array, which is tough for a guy that has high upper 90 stuff and tried developing his secondary stuff. He has very good control too. And I'm excited to see what he does this year.
Awesome. Well, you got another one for me. I gave everybody Daniel Espino last year in this spot, and he's a top 10 pitching prospect now. Give me another one, Andy, that nobody else knows about.
I'm sure people know about this guy, but I'm a huge fan. And this is where things could go wrong for Gonsolin. But Bobby Miller from the Dodgers, he just got drafted. Already made Double-A. He got drafted in the first round in 2020. Already in Double-A, dominated last year. He's going to be up this year, and he has great stuff. High, 2.4 ERA, under 1 WHIP. Love the guy's stuff. He's going to be up there, and he's going to be playing for a winning team. So we'll see what happens.
All right. I'm writing that down right now. All right, guys, great job today. We brought it. We talked about 30 different players. Anybody else before we head out of here that you want to talk about? Andy, you maybe have a throwback for me you want to challenge me with?
Oh yeah, I do. And I'm glad Nick is not doesn't have any light blocking his face, or he's not purple anymore. So because he's going to be involved here. This one's for him to.
We're good.
All right, so
I'll let him guess first. Then
I let him guess.
I have a
first.
perfect record here.
I know, 14 years in the major leagues, 307 career batting average, 358 on base percentage, 222 home runs, 2,153 hits. Stop Googling this stuff right now, Nick. I know what you're doing. 1 MVP award, 7 All-Star games, 9 Golden Gloves. Who is he? Nick, he's going to let you go first. You're Googling.
Nah, I'm out.
Googling right now.
I have oh no. What do you got?
That was really like I mean there's just stats there. You didn't give us anything to go with. There's nothing there. That's just a stat line, man. Come on, you got to give us something about something historical about.
Okay, all right. He was one of my favorite.
You talked about the trade last week, so that kind of gives you somewhere to go with it. I mean, I knew how many home runs McGriff hit. All right, so say the stat line again. 222 home runs.
He was one of my favorite players growing up in the 80s.
222 home runs.
Yeah. 2,153 hits, 307 batting average, 9 Golden Gloves.
Is this a left-hander?
I grew up loving him.
Why did you go to Nick first? It sounds like Will Clark.
No, the 80s, man. Will Clark was a little later. All right. What about Don Mattingly, guys?
Donnie Baseball.
I mean, manages a team now. I should have said that, but
I didn't hear that part.
That would have helped.
That
would have helped. That would have really helped.
I didn't hear that part. I mean, Will Clark, Donnie Mattingly. I mean, that's pretty close to the same player right there.
Yeah,
that's pretty close.
Donnie
Elite
Baseball
defense.
should have been the coach of the Yankees.
I have a poster hanging on my wall in my man cave, and it has Mattingly and Keith Hernandez together, both signed. It's beautiful.
How much is that worth?
I don't know.
Sell.
Yeah, whatever you do, don't leave your back door open. I'm coming. I've been watching The Sopranos. I'm coming to get it.
Oh,
pretty close to Andy. I'm pretty close to Andy. We'll get it. We'll go get it.
All right, guys. Great job today. This has been the Stack Attack Fantasy Podcast. I'm at JTrello20. This dude over here is at NMimi. Trader Andy's at AMAC22NJ. You could check us out next week in RazSlam. The week after, we'll be in TGFBI. Long term, all 3 of us are in the Earth Wars Turf League, which is the Philadelphia to New York League, with some of the heavy hitters in elite in all of fantasy baseball. But we're ready to take it down, right? You know what they say: if you're the smartest guy in the circle, you need a bigger circle, right? Peace out, guys. Anything intelligent to add to that, Andy?
No, not today.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, I got one. I got one. I caught my daughter today, 3-year-old, Friday, eating onion rings with milk. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Ew.
Don't do
Onion
that.
rings with milk?
Yeah, don't do that.
Ew.
It's not smart. It's gonna ruin your fantasy baseball strategy.
All right, Andy, your son's jumping up and down in the background, waiting to go to sleep. My son Trevor, thanks for all you do. Take us on out of here. See you soon, guys. Peace.